Hey, y'all, and welcome to our podcast called Is This How It Ends? My name is Nell,
I'm so.
and we've been friends since college, and we've talked about like so many different things, right? Now, the earth is hella ghetto, and we're over it.
Ghetto.
The ghetto. And we're just looking around and just thinking to ourselves, like, this cannot be real. What you think, Soph?
Girl. I mean, you know my thinking. Like every time I look, I'm like, this can't be real life. Everything that's
Mm-mm.
going on, you have the
Mhm.
wars, you have the
War,
AI robot revolution, we have
robots,
super villain. I mean,
villain.
everything seems to be just crumbling down. I'm just like, what's next, right? Like this just to me, it just seems like things are coming to a head. I'm not religious, but as the religious folks would say, as we'll talk about later, right? Like
Mhm.
this end times, girl. It feels like end times, but we'll have to see. But it's not all dark, right? We'll have some fun in here. We'll do like regular gossip stuff, and it's gonna be girl talk, but with a twist. So I think y'all are gonna like it.
Yes. All right. So let's get into it. All right.
All right.
So for our first segment, we call it Shady Astrology, where I get up in your ass astrologically. Okay. So right now, we're at Mercury. Mercury is in retrograde from April 1st to April 25th. So what does that mean according to the Google, right?
You go.
Mercury in retrograde is an optical illusion. Mercury appears to move backwards from our view here on Earth. Astrologers believe that during this time, technology and communication can get disrupted, putting a dampener on everyone's mood and increasing negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, resentment, and sadness.
Mm.
They also say like don't make any big decisions during like the retrograde. So those
So I
signs.
should not play the lotto, right? Don't play the lotto. Don't play
Mm-mm.
the lotto. I won't play. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Don't play the lotto, girl, because we need you to win. All right.
No gambling.
Yeah. So anyway, so also during this time, you might have some exes popping back up, people in and out your life. Now I'm
Mhm.
bored, so I might entertain a hoe or two, but
Don't entertain them hoes, girl. Don't entertain them.
oh, there's some hoes in this house. Yeah, so I may have holes in different area codes, and during this time, they may pop up in April. So, just be wary of that. They say you're not supposed to really start relationships during the retrograde. So just think about that. So just wait until the 25th, have some time to think it over. But I don't know about yourself, but things have been kind of crazy at my job. Like, people are just weird, stuff going on with technology. Like, the retrograde is retrograding.
Mm. I haven't noticed. I haven't had any. I mean, my last ex was probably like in, I don't know, 2003 and some shit. So I doubt any will be popping out. So, I mean, have things been acting. I always think things are acting weird. Like I'll look at everything. I'm like, what's going on? Like the moon looks extra low today. What does that mean, right? I think I have a conspiratorial mindset to everything.
you,
But
you do.
I'm
You
always
do.
I am always looking at things with a side eye and like,
Yeah.
what's going on? So
Yeah.
yeah, but I'll keep a closer watch.
Yes.
See what's
Yes.
happening.
So, y'all, that's Mercury in retrograde. Be careful out there. And that's it for Shady Astrology.
Let's go a little towards my type of topics.
Okay.
Just still in the realm of what the hell is going on, right? Technology. So technology is. I feel old. Like I feel like my parents, right? Because it's like, what is this mess?
Like, how do you
Right?
do this? I
Like
definitely feel that
oh
way.
like this is gonna like change everything. It's gonna make it better for us. And you're like, no, I just want to use like physical cash. I just want to count out my money and just
I
hand
just
it
want to
to
talk
you.
to someone on the phone. Like,
Yes, I want to like
I don't want little AI bots. No, I
yes.
want to talk to someone.
I don't want Alexa to call anyone. I don't want her to. But although I benefit from all of that, but it's just it's just going so fast. And we know about facial recognition, right? Face ID, just hold up your phone and it's like, oh my God, it's magic. I think technology is like magic because I can't fully explain it. There are others who can, but I can't, right? Like how does the internet work, right? I just send something out there, 2 seconds later, something comes up. It's magic.
My mind. I think about that all the time.
I feel like an idiot. I know.
You're just
But
sending waves out there. Like how do
yeah,
you do that? Even like Bluetooth,
right?
it's so mysterious to me.
I know. We sound so old. We're aunties, y'all. But Amazon has this thing where I'm gonna read it because I can't. So I think it recently launched an AI-powered app to image and store the vein structure in a user's hand, allowing them to sign up for its palm recognition service directly from a smartphone. And all of this is stored in, I don't know, the ether, the cloud, the AI, the cloud, whatever, the ether out there. And it's encrypted, and you could use it on certain services, right? If, like, let's say you go to Whole Foods, you could use it there. And there are other areas where you just like put your palm down and it just kind of like, it reads it, and it's like, and you go about your business. And that's scary, right? Because it's like, how about, can somebody like steal my identity? And they're like, no, it's super encrypted and they can't do that and all of that mess. But to me, it's kind of scary the way everything about us is really just uploaded into the web, right? Like our social is like just floating around there. Our face is just floating. Now, like our vein structure, like that's like getting into like our vein structure is just,
that's crazy. Next thing you know, you're going to be able to like recreate people's like fingerprints and stuff, which are supposed to be like so unique.
I'm sure there's some way to do that, right? If you, it kind of reminds me of that movie Gattaca, but that's, that's going to take us off topic. I'm not going to go there. But yeah, it just seems like, we talk about living in the metaverse. Like there'll come a time where we're just plugged in all the time. Which is what the metaverse is. Like you just pretty much, you live a life there, you own stuff, you pay physical money for things, like those idiots who are paying for like actual like name brand stuff, like the value of it like in real life, but like in a virtual environment. So to me, it's really, really, really scary how everything about us is just uploaded into the cloud, right? There's so much of us out there. It's like, it just feels like it's only a matter of time before someone starts to, I don't know, duplicate us. Imagine if, there is a alien revolution, right? And these people come, like all of our information is there if they just want to take over our life, right?
That's very true.
Who's to know?
That's very true. And creepy.
Yeah. But as I mentioned, I do have a conspiratorial framework, right? And it started during COVID. It started during COVID when I discovered Reddit, and then you start reading certain stuff, and then you start going down these rabbit holes, and then you wake up 2 days later, and you're like, oh my God, what did I just read? But I've learned to pull back from that. And some things you're like, huh, and some things you're like, huh. But this is going into our next topic, right? So this solar eclipse that's happening tomorrow.
Yes. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm out of the path of totality. So I'm in Georgia.
Okay.
I'm out of the path of totality. But I do have some solar glasses. I have the time, and I'm gonna look and see, because I think it is a partial eclipse for me. What are your plans,
They're doing something at work. Actually, they're giving out the glasses, and then we're going to like the Brooklyn Commons, like the square, and then we'll all watch it together.
That's so awesome. So, and this happened in New York in 2017 when I was still in New York in 2017. Just had my son. And we had the same thing. Like we have the company I work for, we had like an outside deck. They gave out glasses and we were able to view it. Had like, it was like a mini party and it was fun. And then the next day we just went about our business. The world didn't end, So, but I think people are thinking the world is the world is gonna end. So let me. Someone sent me something. Well, they sent both of us something, and then I started looking at. I'm like, what is happening, right? Like, because I've been through one before,
Mhm.
and nothing happened. But then all of a sudden, for this particular one, a lot of people are just like going crazy about it. Yeah.
Well, I think also because like New York, we had that earthquake. The Northeast had the earthquake,
But it was
and
before that,
then
though. It was before the
Hmm?
earthquake happened. It was before the earthquake happened. People were kind of like antsy about it.
Okay, I just thought kind of like with the earthquake happening again when retrograde. This is happening. There was a earthquake in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the kind of the thing with like what was it? Was it in Baltimore, Maryland, with like the
Which,
bridge?
yeah.
Yeah, like all these things that are just happening. Like you're just like, something's gonna happen. I just don't know when, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
So let's so
I want
let's
to hear the conspiracy though. I want to hear it.
there are a lot. I think I just picked one, but there are a
Mhm.
lot. And usually I'm of the mindset where there's smoke, there's fire, right? It might be like a
Mhm.
tiny flame, or it might be a full-on forest fire, right? You just kind of never know. Um, but I think there are a lot of times where, especially lately, it seems like everything is like a conspiracy theory, right? Oh, it's like a full moon, an orange moon, or whatever moon type it is. It's like, oh my God, something's gonna happen. I think that was a couple like back in September, something like that happened where people had, oh my God, something's gonna happen.
Mhm.
So it's becoming like everything is a conspiracy, and it's just hard to tell like what's truth and what's not, right? Like the whole Diddy got arrested, like, oh, he's the fall guy for something else, like much bigger, right? So
Mhm.
it's stuff like that. So before I go into this, the too long didn't read version is Monday, April 8th is how it ends. So that's the end of our podcast. You know, it's just how everything ends. The end. Good night. Okay. So the solar eclipse, the path of totality is over 15 states in the U.S. as far south as Texas, and then on to Maine in the north. So it's kind of like an arc. I'm in Georgia again, so I'm out of that path of the total eclipse of the totality, but I'll still see some of it.
Okay.
The sun will be blocked momentarily as the moon passes between Earth and sun. You still get light, but it's almost like it looks like dusk. I think I guess or sunset or sunrise. So that's it, right? And a lot of those states people are flocking to, like New York, Oklahoma, Ohio, and there are areas where they can't even accommodate that many people, but people are flocking to it just to be able to see, it, right? And there are people who are like, they're star chasers, eclipse chasers, whatever. Like that's just their thing.
Mhm.
But yes, but when it comes to just astronomy, period, and all of that, ancient cultures were very. I'm kind of pivoting. It's a hard pivot, but ancient cultures were heavily into astronomy, right? Some as mundane as using it to create calendars, and seeing signs in the stars, right? Planets were also viewed as gods. And some of those solar eclipses were viewed as omens of total destructions. Um, so that's what the conspiracy I've been following, right? That's what it's really focused on, right? They're seeing this eclipse as not something beautiful, but as an omen, right? And mind you, eclipses they're not rare. I think they happen like every 18 months or so. What's rare
Okay.
is like total eclipses hitting certain areas, right? So I think where it's going now, like the next time we'll see it again is like in 400 years. But total eclipses, they're not rare at all. It's just rare for it to hit the same area as frequently. So the biblical, which is what I'm focusing on, because that's all I've been seeing, right? They're claiming that the path of the solar eclipse passes through 7 U.S. cities named Nineveh. It's the name of a city in Iraq that was described as evil in the Bible, right? I think
Mhm.
it's modern day Mosul, and it's one of the oldest and greatest cities in antiquity. It was originally known as the Nua, a trade center, and it became one of the largest and most affluent cities in antiquity. And then in the book of Jonah, I will say I don't know a lot about the Bible, so all of my facts are from the internet. So I don't know a lot about, even though I grew up in the church. I mean, I used to go to church like 4 times a week, twice on Sundays, but a lot of that I've forgotten. But the book of Jonah depicts Nineveh as, and I hope I'm saying it right, it depicts it as a wicked city worthy of destruction. God sent Jonah to preach to them of their coming destruction, and they fasted and they repented because of this. And as a result, God spared them. And then, so when I was reading this, right, and the way these people are, and you could tell which people, right, were kind of like pushing this narrative that, oh, it's, it's passing over these cities that are named Nineveh, and which is false. It's only 2 of those cities are actually named Nineveh that see the total eclipse. The others are only see a partial one, which is kind of like, so there are 7 cities named Nineveh. I didn't know that, but there are. But I don't know. Reading this, so that's one of the conspiracies, right? Like, it's total destruction for these cities who they need to repent. But then when we've always seen the narratives of cities, right? It's always like it's crime ridden. It's like, people are loose and all of this. Just cities never get a good vibe. It's always like a cesspool of like all sorts of crap that happens. And cities tend to be a melting pot of different people, right? Like, you can't really have a personality if like we have all of these people coming together with different cultures, different beliefs, and all sorts of things, right? So cities, they mesh, but it's a whole lot of stuff that's meshing. But cities have always gotten a bad rap, right? So that's one. So of course, these people, I'm not going to say who they are, but when they talk about the New York Cities, the Los Angeles, and just we're heathens, like we're people without faith. We're just, like, so we are, maybe we are the Ninevehs, and we need to be, we're an evil city and need to be destructed. Is that even a word? Oh my God. I don't think that's a word, but
destructed.
Yeah, I just said destructed, didn't I? I did.
Yeah, destroyed.
Right, destroyed. We're going to we're going to take that out of the podcast. Destroyed. We're going to be. Did I say just to destruct?
See? Mercury in retrograde. Issues of communication.
What? Yes. But you know what else this is giving me, right? So Jonah goes to this city. He's an outsider. You know nothing about this city. And you're just going to say, you don't believe in my God, because they believed in other things. It's like, you don't believe in my God, so therefore you're evil and you need to be destroyed, right? Unless that's colonialism.
Girl.
That is colonialism. That's why these people went to these countries. Like, we're here minding our own business, living our life.
That's right.
Having a good old time. And you're going to tell us, oh, well, this man who died for us, and all of this other stuff that you believe in, he said you're not good. So either you change your ways, or we're gonna kill you, and we have the guns and we have the means to do so. So to me, that's the vibe I get. But that's the conspiracy, right? Like, it's just it's symbolic how this path of totality passes over these cities that are named Nineveh, when it's only 2 cities. The other 7, the other 5 just see a partial of it. So it's just that is what it is. So that's the conspiracy I've been tracking. And the other one is like the Biden administration is prepping us for a new world order. I'm like, the Biden Democrats have no cojones, okay?
Exactly. Okay.
They're not doing nothing.
Prepping us for the new world order. They can't even prep my order at McDonald's, okay? They do nothing.
Biden, new world. I don't even think Biden is. I would more so believe someone telling me Biden is a clone or like just a puppet.
Biden, you seen that movie Weekend at Bernie's where the guy's like,
oh my God, my camera just got so excited. Went off. I did, yes.
Girl, he's giving Weekend at Bernie's. The only thing I could see, Kamala will be his running mate. So, if he keels over, I guess we'd have a Black-ish woman.
Yeah.
President.
I mean, she hits all. She's like Black, Asian.
Yeah, she ticks all the boxes, baby.
That's all the boxes. I think Fox News would have a meltdown. I think
They totally
they
would.
would blow up. I think they would just like implode.
Like
That
that
is what will
emoji
start
with
the
the
civil
blown
war.
head, just like
That
that's
will
what.
start the Civil War. What? Come on. I mean, we'll take a man, black man who he had a white mama, so he's best of both, right? To them, actually, no, he's not the best
No,
of both because one of them they don't like, but at least he has some of that in him. So like, okay, you know, but Kamala, a woman,
yeah,
a
a
woman.
blackish woman, blackish.
Yes, we
That'd be
would.
interesting. That'd be interesting.
That would be people like she doesn't speak. I'm like, did we ever hear from Pence? That's not her role. Like she has stuff going on.
Yeah,
Like Pence
and
never
then
spoke. I don't think I've ever seen Pence speak.
rarely, and then if she were to be super like vocal or visible,
Oh
then
my
it's like,
God.
oh, there's this loud black woman. She needs to know her role. Blah 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 blah. So you can't win.
Yeah.
When it
So
comes
yeah,
to
so
that.
that's the new that's one thing we need to this new world order business because this has been around for a long
I'm
time.
throwing that out. But back to the cities, right? So
Mhm.
these heathenist cities,
Heathens, no gods.
heathens,
They are godless.
godless cities are going to be
Mhm.
smited
My
by
tip.
this eclipse. That's what they're saying?
Something like that. Yes. Yes. But
Man.
there's another thing that was said about the eclipse, which I liked. It seemed it just seemed. This is not a conspiracy, but it's just like some people see it as it symbolizes a time of darkness and spiritual renewal, offering an opportunity for introspection and the shedding of old energies. Which to me, if someone's
I like that.
right? I like that. But are we biased because it appeals to us? It's like I do like
Yes,
that,
but
right?
everyone's hella biased. Yeah,
I
I want to
know
believe.
we are
I want
hella
to believe the good, and it's
biased. I
about
do.
renewal, and I
But
want to
there's
believe
always
that.
the end of the world. Like, when 2012 was supposed to be the ending, when we hit 2000,
Yeah, Y2K.
Y2K.
Why is it that whenever they think the world's gonna end, we all want to get toilet paper?
I don't know. Because
Why
guess
is that
what?
the thing?
If it ends, that's the last thing I'm worried about. How am I going to wipe my behind? Like, really?
I know. I
Just
don't
an endless
understand.
supply of toilet paper.
Toilet paper is like the first thing to
The
go.
toilet ain't
And
going to flush, so.
girl, I remember, back in the day with the COVID, and
Oh my
I
God.
went to get some toilet paper. I was like, oh, let me just go to my little local place or whatever, little 99-cent store. They were out of, the regular toilet paper, so I had to get Panda brand, Panda
I've never
toilet
in my
paper.
life heard of Panda brand.
Yeah, girl, I don't think many people have. I don't know
Is
if
it
it's
black
just
and
a New
white?
York base. It just had a panda on it. Now it's like 1/8 of a ply. It's very
Well, it rips apart as you're using it. Got it.
it's very cheap. So you just have to do like a major roll on your hand, like get your roll on your hand, and then the whole roll is gone. But
It is
yeah, people were clowning me
expensive.
because I had Panda toilet
Yeah,
paper.
it's
You
expensive to
know,
be poor because you buy stuff that's just not economical.
yeah. Like, have you ever bought like low budget detergent?
I think I bought Arm& and Hammer, which I think is decent.
No, Arm& Hammer is decent. No, like the Suavitel, like
I love the smell of Suavitel. Like that one, I don't mind it. That's what they.
maybe that because it's fabric softener, but there's definitely a brand that I got from like the 99-cent store. No shame in my game. I use Gain now, so it's fine, but back in the day when times are hard on the boulevard, but
Yeah,
never got my clothes clean though.
people are like, well, it's sometimes it's not the same thing. So we bought the Walmart version of some cat food.
Mm-hmm.
Nugget was bougie as hell. He's like, I'm not. That man was on a diet. Okay. He would come near it, sniff, turn up his tail, and walk away. He'll go towards the big box, thinking like that's like other food, and be like, and just stand right there. We had to trash it because he was not eating. He was not eating it.
Sir Nog said, absolutely not.
Y'all not gonna play with me like this. Okay, I will starve myself before I eat this. Yeah. So it's so like and then that's the other thing. They were like, oh my God, governments are amping this up and they're making a big deal out of it and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And they are making a big deal out of it, but the government's making a big deal out of it are the governments in that path, right? Mm-hmm. Because they have an influx of people. Some cities can't even like accommodate them, right? So they're kind of talking it up, be like, be safe and all of that. I might be proven wrong tomorrow. We might have a new world order tomorrow. So I don't know, because out here in Atlanta, I went to Sam's Club and I was like, I should get an extra pack of toilet paper, because you never know. And one other person had toilet paper. Like no one, like out here, like no one's like we're not making some governments are making a big deal out of it because their cities are preparing for like an influx of people. Yeah. Right? You have a lot of people, you have a lot of trash, you have a lot of traffic, an increase in violence because when too many people get together.
That's true.
When too many people get together, tempers rise, right? That's just common sense. So that's the other thing that they're saying. And I try not to watch the news because there's nowhere that is unbiased. I've given up on, I've never watched Fox. Sometimes I'll watch it
I watch it just
comedy.
To watch it.
Yeah, it's just because it's really like just ridiculous. I'm just like, I can't believe this. I don't watch CNN because they're the same, right? They're pushing the same narrative, right? Like, it's a different side, but it's just like they're not.
They have an agenda.
They have an agenda. They're not focused on facts. They're focused on how do we get this narrative across? And all of them are like that. And it's so hard to find anything truthful. And then people wonder like why we turn to these alternative news medias. Like for me, Reddit, like if I delete the Reddit app, like I'll download it once a week and I delete it again. But like I'll go on there if like I want to like dig into something. I'll go on there and be like, what are people saying? Because I remember the whole when that whole news broke with like the tunnels in New York City, right? Which is nowhere to be. Like you can't find anything on it, like anything. Nope. Like even Reddit couldn't dig into it. Even Reddit couldn't and Reddit could dig into anything. Twitter could dig into anything. Like Twitter will find out like who your parents were when you don't even know. Like they're just that good. Right? But Reddit couldn't do it. We have tunnels, people digging tunnels in New York City and
right in New York.
We can't get to the bottom of it. It was shut down completely, but that I digress. But it was just sometimes if I want to get more into something, like I'll go that route because these news sources they're just
basura.
So we don't know what to believe. And then, just taking us on another tangent, there's a company and there's technology where, let's say you want to believe that smoking is good for you, right? There are like all those side effects that people mention. Those are all lies, right? You could create sources that uphold that and make sure that when people are looking it up, those are the sources that they'll see first, right? And it's always been done, right? Like you have like these crazy companies like doing things they shouldn't be doing, and they get these scientists that they pay off to be like, hey, just downplay all of this stuff, right? Like that's always happened. But now like they could create their own narrative and they could have the sources to back it up. And they could flood the internet with it, right? So it's just like we're moving towards a time where what is true and what is not. Like,
it's all propaganda.
Path of totality. This may be true, right? And who knows?
Well, girl, that means that I'm in New York, so I might get smited, girl. You gonna watch my cat just in case I get smited?
He kind of bougie. I don't know. Well, Nugget is an outside cat. He's like inside and outside cat. So
Oh no, my boy. Just he's an inside cat. He goes
Nugget
outside on the terrace.
Nugget was too. And then one day he put a paw out, he put it back in, he put his head out, put it back in, and the next thing you know,
a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes.
now he got like, other cat hoes coming to my backyard.
Nugget is for the streets.
For the streets. There was one cat. It was right in front of my door. I don't know if it's a he or she. It might have been a she trying to tell Nugget to come out. And she was just like rolling around, like he was just looking. She's just rolling in the dirt and rolling and then looking back, rolling, looking back.
Seduction.
Okay.
Seduction.
Nugget will come out. Just relax. Yeah, girl. So
all right. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with the
is this how it ends? Will it end with a solar eclipse and Nineveh? I don't even know how to say it. I had to go to Google. Like, how do you say this? I think it's it's spelled 9VEH.
Mm-hmm.
Nineveh or Nineveh, something like that. But yes, we'll have to see what happens on Monday. But I do have my solar eclipse glasses. Warby Parker was giving them out for free, so I'm going to return the ones I purchased for $20 back to Amazon. So
hey,
free glasses.
All right. Well, we hope that you all are watching the eclipse, and we'll see if we'll make it for another day.
Stay safe, and yeah.
We've talked about Mars housing lotteries, and we talked about Mercury in retrograde and the eclipse. And so now we're going to talk about some normal, right? Some normal stuff, right?
Yes, let's bring it back to something normal, girl.
All right. So there was a trailer for the Netflix animated series called Good Times, which is based off of the sitcom that was in the 70s about a Black family, I believe it was in Chicago, and the projects, just working to get out, but the family had a lot of love, and the show had a lot of positive messages. And actually, towards the end of the show, when James Evans left, he definitely left because of the way the direction it was going in terms of like the main character, like one of the main characters, JJ, was being basically a buffoon or whatever. And both him and Esther Roll really fought to make sure that the image was protected as much as it could be. But then the show went off the rails, But anyway, y'all know Esther Roll. Damn.
Florida. That's a Family Guy reference, which is I'm sorry, not appropriate here. Go ahead, Janelle.
Well, speaking of Family Guy, right? So this Netflix series is produced by Seth MacFarlane, Steph Curry, which is really random, and then Norman Lear, who was the original writer producer of Good Times. So
you say he passed away though.
Okay.
So
well, I guess he passed away, but they have him listed as a producer, maybe for the original show. I don't know. Anyway, but it's two whites and a light. So I don't know, with the show. But basically, Black Twitter and people on YouTube and social media were up in arms because this animated series was a total deflection from the actual original series, right? I think it takes place where somehow they're back in the projects, which doesn't make sense because in the series, in the end, they move out of the projects. That was the whole point. Anyway, so the Evans family is back in the projects, and there's a talking baby that sells drugs and ogles women's body parts.
And augmented body parts. He sells drugs and augmented body parts. Is that what you said?
Oh, ogles women's body parts, whatever.
I don't know what's worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is a scene where there's a shootout with machine guns across the buildings and the projects. Just a lot of ignorance, bigotry. It's just.
Who's the audience for this.
Like,
Is what
yeah,
I
who is this? Who is this for? I'm trying to understand. Like,
and this is not the first time Seth MacFarlane has done this. Like, he created a spinoff with what's that guy in Family Guy? What's his
the Cleveland Show.
right? Like, who was the audience for that? Like, I didn't really find it.
I never watched it, but I heard it was a mess.
It was not great. And I mean, I love Family Guy because I know what to expect from it, right? It's nonsense. But like, I just did not know who the audience. You're taking this black show. I don't know if you even have black writers for it. First of all, Cleveland.
They do. Oh, not for the Cleveland Show. Sorry, for the Netflix show, Good Times. They do, but
they do. Of course, they do. Right. It reminds me of like those. You know, when you have like these actors, these black actors who talk about going for auditions and they're like, be blacker, right? Code for it.
Yeah.
You know,
apparently it's like a Nigerian woman and like a Cuban woman who's like the showrunner. And my thing is, what was the focus group? Like how did people respond when they saw this? Like how many black people did this go through? Because there are black people that are doing the voices of these characters. How could you not see this and be like, I'm not going to participate in this?
Yeah.
But you know what? There's black people that aren't down for the struggle. I remember in Skidmore, okay? We had the play Hair. And there's a scene where it's supposed to be like, I don't know, like a dream sequence or whatever. And you had like a black woman played Abraham Lincoln. And so it's supposed to be like a satire, right? So we're singing about being free as slaves, all the black people in the play, right? And it just didn't feel right because of where we were, you know? I'm not sure if people would get it. There just wasn't enough black people in the audience for me to feel comfortable doing that, right? And so I was like, all the black people, I was like, look, we're going to do this, right? We're going to say, no, we don't have to do that part. They were like, yeah, girl, yeah, power to the people. What up, right? By the time we get to dress rehearsal, everyone's like, yes, Amasa, yes, I'll do it. I'll read the script. And I was left all alone. Not down for the cause at all. And so it's just like, you're going to have some black folks that don't care. You know, it's hard for black actors. So they're going to make their money, you know, but at what cost? Like, this is going to live forever, you know, like when you die, this is going to be part of your legacy, being part of this trash. It's absolute trash. I'm tired of the black image being trashed, and people should not support it at all. I hate watch things, but I'm not hate watching this at all because it gives some views.
Yeah. And that was a good point. Like, don't even hate watch this stuff. When I didn't, so there are a lot of shows I didn't watch because I grew up without television or good TV, you know, because we had like no antenna, and so Nickelodeon, their shows like I don't know because we ain't
Girl, I have to go to my friend's house to watch his cable. We had a
friends that I could go to where they had the big cable, you know. So a lot of stuff, like when I got older, that's when I was able to kind of watch that. But Good Times is when like I've seen some of it, and then when someone sent me the clip, I didn't know what I was watching, and I said, "What is this?" And it's like I was like, "Good Times, a show?" Like I was like, I don't remember it being like this. It's like it wasn't, you know, like it's one thing to take something and keep it in its form, you know. Let's say that's how it was, and you just like, okay, we'll just build on it, but to go the total opposite, against what this show was trying to move away from, right? Because and that was a time when there was a lot of positive shows coming out. You know, you had Family Matters come out. There were some like really good shows that were like really positive, right? And you had like, and the main characters it was a mostly black cast. And then to take that and what they were trying to do and just, I mean, I get comedy, I get satire, but there's a line that you cross.
To me, even watching the trailer, it just wasn't funny.
No,
it wasn't entertaining. I just felt like I had a physical reaction to it. Like I was like, this is how you see us. Like,
yes, that's how they see us.
This is how you see
writing it. you know, and to your point where this stuff comes out and there's no one in the room to speak out about it, right?
Yeah.
The people doing the voices, like no one thought like, I mean, I hope, what my hope is that they went to several people and they said no.
Mm-hmm.
And then until they finally found someone who, but even like for money, you know, like there's always a price, right? There's
Yeah, you gotta be like, you must be down bad. It's hard for Black actors. So, you know, sometimes you give people grace for the roles that they choose.
it is hard, but then it's
to-
like you don't really make it better, right? Because then that
Yeah,
means you have no integrity, like you have no, like you'll do anything. So if you'll do anything, then might as well give you anything.
that's
It's
true.
just a cycle that we, you know, it's hard to move away from.
Yeah,
Um,
I've
yeah,
just
that trailer was hard.
definitely have observed just the denigration of like the Black identity. And, you know, there was a point in time, like when we were growing up, where there was pride and it was in our shows and our music. And, you know, there's been bad aspects to it, but I felt it was more balanced. And now
Mhm.
it's just coonery. We're caricatures now. It's just,
Mhm.
and how we discuss, like, the Black people that we know in real life just aren't like what I see on TV. But if you go to other countries and other places, they see this media and they treat you that way.
They
They think
do.
you are
Yeah.
that way.
Mhm.
That's why people like go out into the world and you'll see how they view you as a Black person. And it's not good
Yeah.
because of what's out there. Some people will never encounter Black people like that, but they
Mhm.
know what they see on TV.
Yeah. It seems to me as if you try to move away from certain things, and the media's like, mm-mm,
No,
no.
nope. It's like as soon as, like, you know, Black women are getting more degrees, being homeowners, opening businesses, doing all these things, right? We had a Black president, and it's like, let's go into overdrive because we can't show that,
Mhm.
you know, you all are just meant to be thugs and characters and baby mamas and all these other things, you
Yeah.
know, when we know we know what Black people can do when we have the right tools, you know, we're limitless.
Yeah.
But I won't get into all that. But yeah, so basically do not support this show. It is abysmal. I signed the petition and hmm?
It's just so awful, you know. It's
It's just
just
awful. It's so bad. I don't see how it can be entertaining in any way. Um, so yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I hope that you had a good time with us. I hope it was a little bit weird. I hope it was a little bit funny. I hope you laughed to keep from crying. Till next time, y'all.
till next time. Is this how it
This
ends?
is how it ends.
All
Peace.
right. Bye.